In this video, I'd like to talk about the math question of the day for Monday, June 19th, 2023. And with this example problem, we're told that Ben and Cam are scuba diving. Ben is 15.8 meters below the surface of the water. Cam is 4.2 meters above Ben. What is Cam's position relative to the surface of the water? So a question like this involving negative numbers and arithmetic will typically show up in a grade school class, maybe in 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. So at this point, go ahead and pause the video, see if you can work through this on your own. And when you're ready, unpause the video and we can go through this together. Now, assuming that you have attempted the problem, let's start working through this. And with word problems, it sometimes helps to draw in some type of diagram. So let's start by drawing in the surface of the water, and we'll need a way to measure where Ben and Cam are relative to the surface. So let me draw in some kind of vertical measurement here. And we're told that Ben is 15.8 meters below the surface. So let's first label this. This is the surface of the water, and we can say above the surface, that's the positive direction, and below the surface, that's the negative direction. And we're told that Ben is 15.8 meters below the surface. So maybe Ben is right here, and this is 15.8 meters below, so it's in the negative direction. Now, we're also told that Cam is 4.2 meters above Ben. So we can estimate where Cam is, maybe right around here. But we know that he is 4.2 meters above Ben. So to figure out this distance here, which is Cam's position relative to the surface of the water, we will have to do some arithmetic here. So this is the value that we want. And to get that value, we know it's going to be negative. We will start at Ben's position and then add 4.2 meters to bring us up to Cam's position. So we can set up that problem. We have Ben's position, which is minus 15.8 meters, and we will add how far Cam is above Ben, which is 4.2 meters. So we have this arithmetic problem with negative and positive numbers. Now, there are several approaches we could take. One is that we could just use a calculator, but let's practice without a calculator. We could just start by adding 4 and then add 0.2 to this. So if we add 4 to this negative number, we could count that out. Adding 1 brings us to minus 14.8, adding 2 to minus 13.8, then minus 12.8, then minus 11.8. And from there, we just need to add the 0.2 meters. And adding this 0.2 meters will take us to minus 11.6 meters. So this right here should be our final answer. And again, you can check this with your calculator, but I encourage you to learn how to think this through without the calculator. So that's one approach, starting with our whole number and simplifying it, and then adding our decimal component after that. However, one other approach that we can take is we can factor out a negative number from this expression, and by doing so, we will simplify this a bit. If we factor out a negative, then this becomes positive. We have 15.8 meters, and this becomes negative, minus 4.2 meters. So if we subtract 15.8 minus 4.2, we could then just take the opposite of that, and we will get back our final answer. And this is more straightforward to actually calculate by hand. We can just set it up using column arithmetic. So let's write 15.8, and we're subtracting 4.2. And remember, with adding or subtracting decimals, we just line up the decimal and then carry out our addition or subtraction. We do 8 minus 2, which is 6. The decimal just comes straight down, and 5 minus 4, that's 1, and 1 minus 0 is 1. Now, again, we need to take the opposite of this. We get minus 11.6 meters. But that's the exact same answer we found when we just thought this through. So there are different approaches that you can take to a problem like this, but ultimately, like I mentioned, you can check these using your calculator.